Lumna ma'am, can you switch off the video in case attendance
Yes,
is
now I'm
checking?
switching off.
Sir, you can also do some recap on the inferences section that we did yesterday, sir, towards the end.
Yeah,
That
I'll
would
do.
really help.
I'll give a complete recap of the session, sir.
Could you also spend some time on the assignment for tomorrow?
Ha, sir. Now, once I finish off the session, this question will be out. But like once I finish off the session for the day, then you will be clear with the assignment.
Right, right.
Okay. So now, yesterday's session was on, we were looking into simple percentage, how to make a simple percentage, and we went with descriptive statistics, which we have seen mean and standard deviation, and how to clean a data, and we have went with exploratory factor analysis. Right, this is what we have seen. In today's session, we'll be looking into reliability, and then we have t-test, independent sample t-test, ANOVA, correlation, regression. So this is the agenda for the day. Now, this reliability we were discussing enough during our theoretical session. So what is reliability and why we need to do it? We have seen the theory. Now we were supposed to check with the existing data. So you recollect the word, you have a theory for which you have collected the data and you are testing it with some statistics. So what will happen? When we'll do reliability test? See, reliability test will be done after making your questionnaire. You have your questionnaire, you have created your questionnaire, and you collected a pilot, you made a pilot study. So what is this pilot study? Whether my questionnaire wordings are right, whether the respondents are able to respond to my question. Is there any difficulty? Any irrelevant questions are there? Or some questions, whether it is not matching. All these things you make a pilot testing. So pilot testing, if you do, then you will find out, you'll try to make a reliability test, which we call it as Cronbach alpha. So where this test is available, sir, if anywhere, if my voice is breaking, you please let me know, I'll repeat. And if you have any doubt, you please stop me there. We can discuss and proceed further, right? So
Dr. Kumar, I
how you will
suggest
do?
you switch off your video because still the sound is not very clear.
Is it fine now?
Yes. Yeah, better.
Fine. Okay. So now we have the data set, the same data set what we have used yesterday. And what we are doing is we are trying to find out the reliability. Let's open the questionnaire as well. Just a second, my questionnaire is getting opened. Okay. You can recollect our questionnaire, what we had. It's an evaluation of training. We have demographic variables, we have training variables, and then we identified that certain items are coming under one category, 1 to 6, right? Items from 1 to 6. This is representing training environment, and 7 to 11. This is representing content of the training, and 12 to 19. This is talking about content delivery. Now, these items has been chosen. Now, as for time being, you forget about factor analysis. Now, this has been made as per going through review of literature, and I found that 1 to 6 is training environment, 7 to 11 is training content, and from 12 to 19 is trainer delivery, right? Now, I want to find out whether these items are interrelated with each other. How I'll find out? It is based on the response. Already respondent has given their responses, and from based on the response, we want to find out whether there is a relationship between these things or not. So what I'll do, I'm just making my progress slow. Again, we'll be going with analyze. As I said yesterday, almost all the tests will be carried out in your analyze option. Then if you scroll down slowly, you find an option as scale, right? You can look into your this thing, like you'll be finding an option as scale. in the scale, the title itself is given as reliability analysis. So ultimately, we are trying to check the reliability. So click on that scale, go to reliability analysis, click that. Now, what is the statements that I want to check? Statement is from 1 to 6. That is training is held during convenient time up to cooperation of the support staff. How I'll do that? I'll click on training. I'll try to select up to this question, cooperation of the support staff. Just I'm copying everything to the right hand side where all the analysis will be done. This is the normal process which we are seeing from yesterday. For any kind of analysis, your items which is in the left will be moving to this particular right side box. It may be mentioned as item or dependent or independent or whatsoever. So based on this only, here only the calculations will happen. Now, the model is alpha. You don't want to disturb it. The name is Cronbach alpha test. Once you're doing a reliability test, the name of the test is Cronbach alpha. Now you click on statistics, right? I have not done much. I went to analyze, clicked scale, went to reliability analysis, selected the set of items which I feel like it is coming under one particular construct. The construct name is training environment. Then I clicked on statistics. Here, many options are available. We don't want to do any steps. Just click on scale if item deleted. Just click on scale if item deleted. I believe the process is clear. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm just clicking continue. There is only one option as statistics. In that I'm clicking scale if item deleted and then click OK. So what will happen is your output.
Sir, could you repeat once again? Once you put in the scale, you ticked on scale. Where did you go further?
Sir, after that scale, click on reliability analysis. Reliability analysis.
Right.
Then go to select your items.
Right.
And then bring it to the right side.
Yes.
Click on statistics. Then click on scale if item deleted. Scale if item deleted. Then continue.
Okay.
Then click OK. Right. So now, yeah, you please concentrate on the result now. Please. Yes, sir. So now please concentrate on the result. This is the reliability statistics. Whenever you are scrolling down, normally there will be like cases and other stuffs. But the most important thing is the reliability statistics. What is the Cronbach alpha value? I am just copying it for my EC access. As usual, I'll take it to my Excel sheet so that my job will be easy. Okay. Now, if you look into it, can you see my screen? Is my Excel sheet visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this Cronbach alpha value, it is showing as 0.625, right? 0.625. There is a cutoff. I'm just highlighting more on the cutoff. What is the cutoff? The cutoff value is 0.7, right? It should be more than 0.7. The reference is Nunelli. The name of the author who worked on this is Nunelli. If I'm right, the year is 1979. You please pick it up. Mostly it should be 1979. As per this particular researcher, the cutoff value for reliability should be Cronbach alpha reliability. I will mention the name also. Cronbach alpha. This is the name. The Cronbach alpha cutoff value should be more than 0.7. So what is this? Here it is like 0.625. Still it is accepted to some extent because you are doing a pilot study. The reference is like if the value is more than 0.6. This was stated by Shekaran. All right, I'm not remembering the year. Please check it up. This is Uma Shekaran book. It is mentioned like it can also be 0.6. It can also be more than 0.6. Sir.
Yeah. So reliability of this whole questionnaire or a section, what are we talking about in from the concept basis? Then
right. Now we have taken the set of items coming under a single factor or a construct. See, I'm taking only for this construct. Ultimately, what I'm doing is I'm trying to measure the training environment variables, whether it is reliable or not. That is my first objective. Second, for training content, whether the items I have taken is reliable or not. Third, trainer delivery, whether the items from 12 to 19, which I considered based on my review of literature, it is reliable or not. This is one major way of checking. The other way is I can take it from 1 to 19 completely and check the reliability also. But it will give you an idea for the overall training variables. It will not be more specific towards a construct. Ultimately, what we want to do is we say our major objective is to say that the items, whatever I have taken for a particular construct, it is reliable. You can trust the items, whatever I have taken. If any item is not having the reliability score, then I will not consider for my study. That is the core objective. Am I
When
clear?
you say reliability, sir, is it that that particular set of variables are explaining the construct to a maximum level?
Yes, it is like these items are representing the construct. What I have taken. What is the construct I have? These items are representing the particular construct. You're right.
Yeah, this component is enough to explain this feature.
Yeah, you're right. These items are enough to represent my particular construct which I have taken for my study.
So if it is not less than, if it is not more than 0.6, that means we haven't done the literature review properly and we haven't got it.
I'm coming back to that, sir. I'm coming back to that.
Please,
Sir, is it possible that if we remove maybe one or two variables from that list that we had taken, the Cronbach's alpha could have gone up?
You're right, sir. I'm just coming back to that. I'm coming back to that. All right. I'm not finished. Just wait. Just hold for 2 minutes.
Sure,
after that, your query will be clear. So 0.6 is what as per Shekaran, but strongly suggested, like, yes, you are supposed to go with 0.7, and most of the researchers or evaluators, they are not comfortable with 0.6. They say like you go with 0.7. Now, what has happened is like it is 0.625. Still it is okay kind. Now there is one more output which we have taken from the reliability, right, table. What is it? Is it item total statistics, scale if item deleted. If you recollect, we made a scale if item deleted, right? So what is happening here is like you look into the last value, you look into this particular table, scale if item deleted, right? So here, if you look into it, these are all my items which is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is nothing but these are all the 6 items which we have selected for our construct. So now, if you look into it, if I remove the first item, my Cronbach alpha value will go up to 0.814. Right? If I remove the second item, it will be 0.561. I'll just show you a small example. Training is held during convenient time and place. If I remove this item, okay. Okay, just a minute. I believe there is one error which is not rectified. Yeah, it is 44. That's why it is having some issue. If you recollect, yesterday we made a data entry error, na? Because of it, it is showing like this. But anyway, if I remove the first item, my Cronbach alpha will move from 0.625 to 0.814. How it will happen? I rework on this. I'm doing the test again. Just concentrate here. As few of you have mentioned, I just look into the output. In the output, if I remove the first item, my Cronbach alpha will go up to 0.814. So it means this item is not having a lot of influence on my construct, because of which my results are not comfortable. So I'm removing it. I'm just sending it back. So what I'll do is I'll be considering only these 5 items. All right. So if I run a Cronbach alpha by now, look at the value, it is 0.814. Can you able to match it, sir? Can everyone able to match it? It means this particular scale if item deleted option is given, it will show for each item. If this item is removed, what will happen to the Cronbach alpha? If this item alone is removed, what will happen? Likewise, if each item is removed at one at a time, then what will be the Cronbach alpha? So by that way, now my result has been changed. So the interpretation is, if you are running a pilot test, you try to check for the Cronbach alpha. you try to find out which are all the items that is having lesser influence towards the construct, and be very cautious while collecting data for the pilot testing. You ensure that you are getting the right kind of response. Don't try to collect a response where people are lethargic, or sometimes you find like they have given it within 2 minutes or 3 minutes. That shows that the response is not appropriate. And this is the initial phase of your testing, where if you get some response errors, it means like people are not having giving a proper response without reading the content itself, then this will affect your item which you have selected. So please be cautious with it, number one. Number two, after collecting the entire data also, it is suggested to check for a Cronbach alpha. You can do it pre and post also. Number three, you can do it for the entire scale, but it is an add-on. What is the entire scale? You can do it for the complete set from 1 to 19 also. There is nothing wrong in that, but this is an add-on. Apart from that, whatever content is the construct of your study, whichever is the major construct, for that construct, you are supposed to show the Cronbach alpha value, right? Am I clear with the contents? If you have any doubts, please ask me. Now it's open for discussion.
This Cronbach alpha for the pilot testing, what should the minimum value of the sample be when we are doing the pilot testing? So
Sir, pilot testing, normally there is no hard and fast rule. If I assume that if I'm planning to collect some 500 data, 10% of it, but preferably you can go with 50 to 60 data. Okay. Preferably you can go with 50 to 60 data. There is no hard and fast rule that you are supposed to follow more scientific calculation. You cannot say 10%. Since it is 500, I said 10% will be 50. Assume that if someone yesterday one of the scholar was saying like I'm trying to collect from different region. If he is planning like, okay, I have select 4 regions in the entire world, then four different countries. Then each country he is planning like, okay, let me make an intensive study. So by that way he is saying I'm going to collect some 400. By that way it will be like 1,600. If you take a 10% of it, it will be 160, which is not feasible. Sometimes the entire study will be ending at with 160 itself, right? So there is no hard and fast rule like that, but a minimum 50 and 60 will be justifiable.
Dr. Rajkumar, would you please tell once more about the acceptable range or acceptable figure of this Cronbach alpha?
Now the acceptable range is 0.7, which is widely accepted, and many people will try to look on this. But worst case scenario, you can go up to 0.6 also, and the reference is Shekaran. The book name is I don't recollect the book name immediately. It will be like research methodology by Uma Shekaran. In that book, this 0.6 has been quoted. You just type it in Google also. 0.6 as cutoff for Cronbach alpha reliability by Uma Shekaran. If you type like that, there will be some references which might have been quoted, which will support your point in your worst case scenario. But majority you try to go with 0.7. All right. There are always minimal and maximum. Say yes, sir.
Sir, I have a question. That means after the literature review, the flow that I am looking at is the literature review. It would actually lead to a kind of a theoretical concept that we build, wherein the constructs would be actually defined. And then from the constructs, which are the variables or the items which might be actually contributing to this construct. So that I need to actually have in my questionnaire. And then I need to test that whether these items that I have taken are reliable and would actually, measure what I intend to measure.
100% right, sir. You're on track. 100% right.
Okay. Okay.
It means like you may add some items. Sometimes what will happen is, why we are doing this is, sometimes, okay, how you will make the questionnaire, some people will be directly going with an established scale. Established scale means which is already available. Certain times what will happen is researcher will try to add value. So what they'll do is, apart from whatever items they are collecting, they find like there are certain items which is much more important, number one. Sometimes you have an expert opinion and the experts will suggest that no, now the scenario is something different. The same thing will not work out. This is also, in this current situation, this is also much more important. They'll try to suggest certain items. You try to add these items or statements in your questionnaire. So you will add it. What will happen here is, you try to put as much as item as possible, which are much more relevant based on 3 major concepts. One, based on the logic what you got. Number two, major is the review of literature. Number two, your logic. Third, you have a discussion with some experts and they'll try to give you certain items. So now all these three are combined together to form your questionnaire. And after that, we cannot just go ask like that, for which we try to find out like what is the response of the respondents, how they feel, whether it is getting correlated, getting related or not, whether it is measuring the construct what I framed or not. That has to be tested, for which you cannot take a call till taking some 400 data and finally you eliminate some steps, right? At the initial stage, your questionnaire may be like some 50, 60, 70. But after you're doing your Cronbach alpha, and if you go with the exploratory factor analysis will be done at the later stage, but you can do it with the mid course also. But while doing the reliability analysis, you find like, okay, out of 60, there are 7 to 8 or 10 items which is not having any value to your study. By that way, you try to say that, yes, these items are not reliable, so I have ignored on my initial stage itself. Why we want to do that? So that the respondents will not be getting so much of items or questions in a questionnaire, and they need not spend so much of time and effort will get waste, and you'll try to capture the accurate content. That is the reason why you go for a Cronbach alpha test. Is it clear, sir? Yeah.
Dr. Rajkumar,
yes, please.
A layman's question from my side. I just want to know that inclusion of these statistical tools to check the consistency or reliability or whatever it may be, since these are all software based now, is it mandated by the UGC regulations so that these tools are to be a part and parcel of any research paper?
It is a mandate part of, there is no concept of relating with UGC, sir. Here it is, what is happening is, it is the scientific rigor of a research work. Whatever we are talking about the analysis, everything are scientific rigor. Hello?
No, that I understand. What I mean to say is that these statistical tools will definitely form a part of each and every research which we will be submitting, isn't it?
Yes. Whichever you are having a survey format. Survey is a questionnaire format. Wherever you are using a questionnaire format, there this is applicable.
Questionnaire format will be in most of the researchers in the social sciences, I assume.
Almost all the studies, except if it is a different format of a finance kind of a study. Whenever you are using questionnaire, this will be applicable.
Okay.
All right, fine. So let us proceed further, sir, because today we'll be like completing it much earlier. 9:30 VC sir will be there. So regarding your queries and other things, so we'll try to rush up to some extent, and we'll try to finish or cover up the portions because you have your assignment based on this. So let me proceed a little bit faster. Be with me. Now this is reliability test. We have tested. After that, there is the next test is t-test. See, what is this t-test? There is a logic behind that. Now the scenario is like for the past 3 hours, for the 3 sessions. Let me take only these 3 sessions. For the past 3 sessions, I'm trying to give a lot of inputs relating to statistical analysis using SPSS. I want to find out, and I'm asking you the feedback. What is the feedback? I understood the concepts from how to make some analysis in simple percentage, how to make analysis for analysis relating to exploratory factor analysis using SPSS. Now this is the outcome variable, only one. I can do certain analysis in SPSS, right? That is the outcome variable. Means I'm asking you like express your agreeableness towards the following statement. Only one item. I'm able to work, and now I will be in a position to work in SPSS relating to basic analysis. And I'm giving you 5 options: strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree, which is a Likert scale. What will be your response? And 1 or 2 can say?
Agree.
Agree. Someone will be like strongly agree.
Can you just repeat?
Hi, madam. Like after this session, I'm just asking you one statement. Now, I'm in a position to make basic statistical analysis using SPSS, and the options will be in a 5-point scale: strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree. What will be your option? What will be your answer?
Agree.
Agree.
Right. Now, this particular response, they assume that this is the variable that is using SPSS. And now 2 responses I got. Agree means 4, right? 4, someone is giving 5, someone has given 3, some people have given 1, 1, 4, something like that. Roughly, I'm taking all your responses, right? Now I got a mean score of 4.3. This is a rough assumption. Now I have a mean score of 4.3. At the end, mean score is nothing but adding everything and divided by the number of items, which can be done in SPSS. Yesterday we have seen descriptive statistics, right? In that mean and standard deviation value as obtained. Now I got a mean score of 4.3. This is the overall response of the participant. How many participants are there? Total 22 scholars are there. So the overall 22 scholars have given me a score of 4.3. Can you see my Excel sheet, sir? Everyone, madam, can you see my Excel sheet?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Overall 22 scholars who are attending the session for the past 3 days, they said together the score is like 4.3. Now, I just want to find out whether this 4.3 has come from both the gender male and female. Is it a common score given by male and female, or there is a difference of opinion between male and female, right? Assuming that I am in a bias, I'm trying to answer all the questions answered by the male participants. I'm not answering for the female participant, which is not actually happening, just for an example. So by that way, I want to find out whether the opinion which is given as 4.3, I'm repeating again, whether the overall score which is given by all the 22 scholars, which is 4.3, has come from male and female, or is there any biasness, or is there any difference of opinion between male and female? This I want to find out. If I want to find out the difference in opinion, right? If I want to find out the difference in opinion, then the test available is independent sample t-test or one-way ANOVA. This is the test which is applicable. I'm repeating once again. You got an overall mean score. On the mean score, you want to find out whether the opinion has been given by male and female is same or their opinion is different. In certain studies, there may be differences which we don't know. We want to test. In order to test that, one of the most important two tests are applicable. One is independent sample t-test or one-way ANOVA. Where this independent sample t-test is applicable? If I want to do an independent sample t-test, my category should be two category. What is the two category? Gender. What are all the options you will give generally for gender? Male or female. Am I right?
Yeah.
There can be one more option as transgender also, right? If you are adding, that will be different. The other option is age. So how the age is calculated, how the age is captured in our study? So our questionnaire, how the age is captured?
Interval.
No, sir. We'll look into the options. Here it is like below 30 years.
Below 30, 31, 35.
31 to 35, more than 35. So here it is below 30, 31 to 35, and more than 35. Now, how many categories are there? There are three categories. Am I clear with this? If you understand this only, you can do the test. What about marital status? Whether it will be two category or three category?
Two category.
2, 3.
Married, unmarried.
Three.
If I have an option as married, unmarried, separated, it will become three categories, right? So first is like you want to find out like how many categories are there in your demographic variable, which is a nominal data. So this nominal data. Now profession, how many categories are there? Two. Academic, non-academic. Proficiency in using computer?
Three.
So any question, any item which is a demographic variable which is trying to capture their category, which is a nominal data, if it is 2, then we'll go for independent sample t-test. I'm just putting it in bracket. When there are 2 category, you will go for independent sample t-test. More than 2. Age is one example. The other option is proficiency as per our data. And many more are there. If there are more than 2 category, we'll go for ANOVA. All right, this is ANOVA and this is t-test, independent sample t-test. Don't worry, this recording will be available for you. You can slowly look into it. You can get it. Now, time being, you understand if there are only 2 category t-test, which is independent sample t-test. If there are more than 2 category, it is ANOVA. And for what we are doing, difference in opinion. So now, yesterday,
so it will always be for an independent variable, right? Only for one column, only for one independent variable, we are doing this, right? And like this, we have to do for multiple variables, correct?
Yeah. What is happening here is, this is my what? This overall 22 scholars has given some score now, 4.3. This is what?
This is for all the responses.
This is a dependent variable then?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a dependent variable. Now, what is this? What is this male, female, and other stuffs? These are all my independent variable. Gender is an independent variable.
Yeah.
All right. So this ANOVA test also, everything is independent variable. So when there is a property of nominal data, when my independent variable is nominal, and if my dependent variable is scale, right? Between nominal and scale data, the test possible is independent sample t-test, I'm making it as t-test, or ANOVA. This is what predominantly do. So how I identify, again get back to our previous session, scale. This gender male and female is nominal, and all these are nominal. And what about this particular overall feedback? Overall score, how I calculated? I got the overall score in a Likert scale. Can you recollect how is the Likert scale? It is like strongly disagree, neutral, agree, and strongly agree, right? So by that way, it is a scale data. So if I go in that way, when my independent variable is nominal and dependent variable is scale, I'll be going for t-test and ANOVA. What is the objective of it? What is the hypothesis I'm going to check? I'm going to check the difference of opinion existing among the male or age, or depending on based on age or something like that, on a particular scale variable. Now, what is hypothesis? Hope you might have come across hypothesis. Can someone tell me what is hypothesis?
Hypothesis is basically my view of the world.
Hypothesis is a statement.
Assumption.
Assumption, yeah.
Altogether,
Assumption which is an assumption which is yet to be tested.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hypothesis is basically the statement based on which our research is based.
Okay, statement, it's an assumption which needs to be tested. I'm taking all the points. Now, what is the assumption here? What assumption we are making? Overall score is 4.3, and then we are trying to find out whether there is a difference of opinion among male and female. Now, what will be the hypothesis for this? I'm taking only two things. One is gender on overall score relating to using of SPSS for basic analysis, right? This is my test. This is the idea what I want to test. This is the statement. This is the idea. Now, what is the hypothesis I make?
There is no gender-wise difference.
Yes.
Right.
There is
two hypothesis. One is
null and alternative.
Null.
Alternative, right? HA.
Yes.
What is the null hypothesis here?
So null will be that both the means are the same. That means there is no difference of opinion between male and female.
Exactly. So there is no difference of opinion. There is no difference of, leave out the spelling mistake, please pardon with me. Difference of opinion existing among the respondents based on what? Based on
Gender.
Based on gender on what?
On the score.
On the usage of SPSS. We can make it in any format, sir. There is no hard and fast rule. Usage of
Rajkumar.
Just a minute, sir. I'll complete. Usage of SPSS for basic analysis. Yeah, this is my null hypothesis. Yes, sir, your question, please.
Yes. So can we make a null hypothesis as there is a difference of opinion?
See, it cannot be there is a difference of opinion. It's an alternative hypothesis.
No. What I'm saying is yes. I understand that part, but I'm just trying to regress it for my own understanding. So can we interchange it, because we are keeping that hypothesis on, right? And then whichever the data will tell which one is correct, right? Whether my null or alternative. But the description what you have written, can I make my alternative as a null hypothesis and null as a alternative?
No, we cannot change like that, sir. This is a universal rule that null should be, it should be like there is no difference, and alternative there is a difference. Number one. Second, in certain studies, especially in research articles, you please check today itself. You download any topic of your interest where there is a data collection has happened and where they have tested some hypothesis. Please go through the hypothesis and find out in any of the article, in most of the article, I can say very good article, right? Very good journals. You cannot find they are representing null hypothesis in the article. You can find only alternative, right? In thesis, what is happening is there are two different school of thoughts. Many people will suggest you try to represent null, and in many theses they'll say like you try to go with alternative, and few people will suggest like you try to put null and alternative as well, right? So there are different school of thoughts, but when it comes to article, you can find 98% of the articles or 90% of the articles it will be going with alternative hypothesis. All right,
sir.
Alternative. Yes, please.
Sir, see the very name null, which suggests the null, it means that there is a void, there is nothing, there is no difference, isn't it?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Got it. Okay, understood.
Right. Okay, fine. Now let us rush a little bit, sir. Be with me. Now this is the hypothesis which I want to test, for which I identify the scale, and based on the scale, I will try to pick whether it is t-test or not. So I'm getting some disturbance. Can someone mute yourself, please? Yeah. Okay. Right. I can find. I want to test this hypothesis. So how I'll do that? For which I'll go to my analyze. Same. Please be with me for the process, because these are all the basic tests which is expected for a basic paper. Any kind of paper, if you work out, these are all certain basic tests by which you can look forward for some publication. So please be with me. Like you go to analyze, then you have an option as compare means. I'm repeating it once again. You go to analyze. There is an option as compare means. In that many tests are available. Out of it, you try to pick independent sample t-test, right? Independent sample t-test. You click on this independent sample t-test. Okay, before that we have to compute. Now, so what is, just a minute. See, what is this training, duration, sufficient break, necessary software, online platform and cooperation? What is this called as? Training?
Environment.
Training environment. Right. Now, for this training environment, if you look into my example, these are all the responses what I got. I want to get the mean score. Am I right? Similar way, I have different items which is measuring training environment, for which I want to get a single score. I'll make a common man layman example. I have 7 subjects in my MBA, and out of that 7 subjects, while I'm studying, I scored different marks in different subjects. Means like 95, 80, 75, and then 67, and then 88, something like that. These are all individual scores what I got in different subjects. Assume each question has, each statement has different subjects, and I want to get the overall percentage. Overall percentage, that is the overall score, right? So what I do is I try to calculate the mean. Here in SPSS also, we are supposed to compute the mean. How you will be computing? T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6. These all T6 up to T6 is my training environment variable. For all these training environment variable, I should create one single score as TE. How I'll do that? There is one option which I said yesterday, that is transform. If you recollect, I mentioned about file, I mentioned about transform, I mentioned about analyze. File will help you to make new data set, open new data set, save and save as. Analyze will tell you like what are all the statistical tests available. You can do all statistical tests, almost all basic statistical tests in analyze. Transform is an option. There you can go for compute. Till there, any doubt? Is my concept clear?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, fine. I just want one single score. I don't want to have different score for different subject. I want the overall percentage. If it is Rajkumar, what is your percentage in your previous semester? I'll not say like in OB I got 78 and in statistics I got 67. This will not be my answer. I'll say like my cumulative is 8.3 or something like that, or my percentage is 70% or 80%. So similar way, we don't worry about individual item. We want one single score. How to get the single score? There is one option as transform, compute variable, transform, compute variable. Here, this is completely a calculator. You just see everything as a calculator. Now, target variable. What is this target variable? I'll give a name. I want to create training environment. Am I right? So this is my target variable. I want to create training environment. Now, what is that I want to do? I want to create a mean score. And you will not do any other functions further. Only compute option, 99% you will be creating mean, right? So you type it as mean. Here you type it as mean, open a bracket, right? I'm just making a simple calculation, which you can do it in Excel also. I'm clicking the first variable. Double clicking on that, this variable will enter here. From what to what? From this variable to TE6, right? My statement itself is very clear. I want a target variable which should be there in my SPSS as training environment, which has to have the mean from training from the TE1 variable to TE6. So TE1 space TE1 to TE6, and then I'm closing the bracket. Any doubt in this as of now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Fine.
You could repeat that once more. You could repeat that once more, sir.
Professor, this is the syntax mean variable to end last variable bracket close. Is this the syntax?
That's it. That's a simple command. Simple command. We say that you create. I'm instructing the software, create me a training environment variable which should have the mean score of variables from TE1 to TE6, which I'm putting it in bracket. Okay. If it is clear till now, I'll proceed further. Can I go ahead with your permission?
Yes.
Everyone are there with me, I believe. So I'm clicking OK. Now, what is happening is go to your training data variable. You go to the last row in your variable view. Go to the last row in your variable view. You can find one variable has been created as instructed by us as training environment. Now, what has happened is new variable has been created. It is just like I'm creating a new variable as gender, right? It is just like that. So similar way, I have made a computing. I just calculated the mean and I'll name it. This as training environment, right? I can create like that. So now this is the new variable, what I have created. If you want to see the mean score, go to data view where my data.
Sir, could you just repeat this mean the syntax? Could you just repeat once, please?
It's very simple, sir. Like you give us training environment, what you want to create without any space. Your space will not get accepted. So create it and say that I want a variable as training environment, which should be the mean of TE1 to TE6. You look into your questionnaire. I want a mean of TE1 to TE6. Same layman comment, I'm giving it here. That's all. And click OK. Right? This variable is created. If I want to look into this variable, go to your data view and then go further and check end the last one. As in variable view, it is the last row, and in data view, it will be the last column. So now I got a mean score. This is an error because we made as 44, right? So that is why it is more than 5, or else it will be less than 5 only, right? So I'll make it as 5 here for your understanding. So now this mean score has been created. So how is the mean score? Since it is a mean, it will not be an absolute value. You look into T1, this T1 will be like, this is 4, 5, something like that. When you take a mean, it will become a continuous variable, 4.33, 4.83, something like that. Now this variable is created. So what we want to do is, we want to create a single mean score for training environment, a single mean score for training content, and a single mean score for trainers delivery. Also, we need the outcome variable, right? So what is the outcome variable I have as after training? That is before training and after training. Which I consider for my study? Before training or after training? If you want to measure the outcome, what I'm supposed to consider? Before training or after training?
After training.
Exactly. Before training is to know what is their level, what is the knowledge of the participants before the training, and because of the training, what has happened. So I'll consider only after training, right? This is for my estimation, but after training is what I'm supposed to do. So you can create it for after training also. Now you look into your data set. I've already created a TE training environment, which is the mean score of all the 6 items, content, and then content delivery, right? And then before training and after training. For everything, I have created a mean score as per the process what I said. Now, On this particular steps only, I'll be conducting a t-test or ANOVA. So now I'll just for your information, I'll go and look into the mean. How we look into the mean? Descriptive statistics and then check in the descriptives. I'll show the mean score. So I'll go down, I'll click it here, make it here, and then click OK. This was the step which was said yesterday. In descriptives, you can find the mean. So obviously it will be more than one, it will be like 1.83, 4.63, it is obvious. Now what is the mean score? I'll just take this output and paste it in a document. Now what is the mean score here? Training environment. So as I said, 7 subjects. Rajkumar has gone with an MBA program and 7 subjects he has scored something, but what is the overall score? For training environment, the overall score is 3.99. It means my total cumulative percentage is 3.99, something like that, right? So training environment is 3.99. Content of training program, it is 3.9. Content of delivery, it is 4.1. And then after training, it is 4.19. So now this particular score, 3.9, all right, this particular score 3.9, whether this is the overall score. As like the score which you have given to me. During the start of the session, I was asking you one question. Overall, 22 scholars have rated me as 4.3. That is what the score this is. This is the score. 3.9. This is the overall for training environment. Now, I want to find out whether this 3.9 was given, score was given by both male and female, or there is a difference of opinion, right? Or there is a difference of opinion. So this male and female, I want to find out whether the score has some difference of opinion between male and female, or it is same, just similar to whatever we have made an exercise. I've taken this score.
Rajkumar, Dr. Rajkumar, I kind of got lost there.
Please.
We did the individual response mean first. Then we went on. If you go back to the data view once.
You have an individual observation, ma'am. These are all the observation individual item.
Correct.
I want to make for one particular. This belongs to what? Training environment. All these items belongs to training environment. I want a single score of training environment.
Right.
I created a mean score.
Okay.
And that mean score is what this.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Now, I want to test the hypothesis. There is no difference of opinion existing among the respondents based on gender on any variable.
Dr. Rajkumar, before you go to hypothesis, a quick one. So you calculated mean from 2 ways. One through descriptive way and one through this transform way. And the mean, I think you got it were different, right?
Sir, I have made it only from the transform way. Okay, if you look into this training environment, this is through transform way, right? So these are all the mean score of individual respondent. If you look into it, this is the score for individual respondents. For example, 218 is Rajkumar, 20 is some Professor Dilip, and 21 is some faculty or some person. So these are all the individual score. Now this also has the overall score, na? Environment also all to find out the overall mean, na? So that is what it will come in the descriptive statistics. This is the overall score of the training environment. One single score. See how many scores you have. Here you have all 389 individual total, right? This is the row total and this is the column total. There is a row total and column total. Am I right, sir?
Okay, got it. So through, if I understand it, through transform, you got it for each row, right?
Yes.
Those component. Whereas the previous one through descriptive, you got a general for that component.
Yes, exactly. Initially, to compute a calculator for each row separately, but in descriptive statistics, I got for the entire column, right? So now this is the score. Now we want to test the.
Sir, if I go to the, if you can just go to once to the variable view, just that, just one doubt I have. The variable view sheet. The SPSS sheet on variable view. The variable, sorry, the data view. So the other sheet, the other sheet.
Okay.
Yeah, now here, no, the previous one, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here, sir, you have taken a new, you have a training variable, training environment, the mean score already there in row 43. Then you have another one in row 48. So I didn't understand both of them there.
Sir, that TE43 was created already, which I have created and sent to you. This I'm showing you as a demo.
Okay. Okay.
That's same. Both are same. This has been created already. This is I am showing to how to compute a variable that I am showing you as a demo.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Just a minute, sir. Just a minute. Excuse me for 1 minute. Yeah, fine. So now this is a demo. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this variable because already I've created. I just want to show you a demo, and for your practice, this will be easy. That's why I've given. You can play around with the data.
Yeah,
now
I got confused in both of them. So.
Yes. Now what you want to do is like I want to find out the difference of opinion. What is the hypothesis now? This is my hypothesis. Whether there is a difference of opinion existing among the respondents based on gender, or there is no difference. This is the hypothesis. See, I'll tell you a magical number. I'm also saying like I'm a statistician. Right from the start, I'm saying like I don't like numbers, or I'm scared of numbers. I don't say I don't like. I'm scared of numbers. So how I can interpret these results? There will be a lot of the digits and values which will be coming in SPSS. How I'll do that? Simple. You please remember the magical number 5% level. Have you heard of this 5% level?
Yes.
Madam, have you heard of this 5% level?
Confidence level.
Yeah, it is level of significance. Means in my study yesterday, Simi ma'am was asking like if there is an error, what to do? We can allow an error up to 5% because we are dealing with humans. So obviously the responses will be having some error. So social science, it will allow the significance level of 5% error. It means there is an error of 0.05, but 95% whatever result I am saying, it is acceptable. So we used to test this. You leave out, forget your statistics, forget your values. I request you to remember this number alone. This is the magical number, 0.05. You remember this number alone. My interpretations in almost all the statistical tests using SPSS will be revolving around this value, 0.05. And if any value, any significant value obtained in a test, if it is less than 0.05, I accept the alternative hypothesis. You can write it down also. You can write it and then you can have it with you anytime you want. You can refer. If my significant value is more than 0.05, it's not 0.5, sorry, 0.05. Error. More than 0.05, I accept the null hypothesis. There is a term as failed to reject the null hypothesis, but common man language, you keep these two lines very firm. You just go through this line very firm. Any significant value which is obtained, if it is less than 0.05, you go with alternative hypothesis. If it is more than 0.05, you go with null hypothesis. Now, let me do the test. You can understand it what it means. I go to analyze. Please just stay here. I'm just doing the independent sample t-test. Go to analyze. Go to compare means. Professor Dilip, you are there? Professor Dilip?
Hello. Yes, sir. Good morning.
Dilip, sir, you are there?
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir. I am there, sir.
You please
Hello.
use the chat option and type this. Can you help me out? Just type it in the chat. Whatever steps I'm saying, you please type it in the chat. Is it possible? You are in laptop or mobile? Hello?
Hello, sir.
You are in laptop or in mobile?
In laptop, sir.
Laptop. Okay. Kindly help me in the chat option. You type the steps. Anna, just help me out if you could. I'll do the steps. You just type it in the chat.
Okay, sir.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Dilip. Right. Go to analyze. Analyze. Compare means.
Then.
Compare means independent sample t-test.
Wait a minute, sir.
Please. Analyze. Compare means independent sample t-test. Independent sample t-test. Independent sample t-test. Can I proceed further?
Yes, sir.
independent sample t-test. Okay, now please pay your attention. Here, what has happened is, all the participants, please listen. Here, we are not going to take all the individual items because already we have created a mean score for the construct, which is training environment. So I'll not take it from TE1, TE2, TE3, something like that, because now I don't want that. Now I have overall score. Just drag down to the last location. You can find training environment. Am I clear with the steps?
Yes.
Everyone? Yeah. Simple. I don't want individual items now. I have an overall mean score. Click on training environment and then go to test variable. Move it to the test variable. This step, hope you can do it. I believe it may not be typed. You try to find out where is the training environment and then take it here, right? Also, I can do it for the others also, but I'll just go with one example, training environment alone. And you don't want to click any other options. You just go to grouping variable. Professor Dilip, you just type this alone, grouping variable. Okay. Now I have taken my test variable, which is the dependent variable, that is the scale variable. If you recollect, in the Excel sheet, we mentioned about dependent variable will be the scale variable and independent variable will be the categorical variable. So now this dependent variable, which is training environment, I have taken, for which the overall score has been calculated, and gender I'll take. Gender is my variable because it has two categories. I'll click on gender. I take it to grouping variable. Click on gender, take it to grouping variable. Gender and take it to grouping variable. Now it is asking me question mark. Gender, how you are coded? So this is asking me to give the code, right? So what I'll do is, like, I'll click on define group. I'll repeat the step. I've taken my dependent variable. I'm just going once again. I go to analyze. I go to analyze. I go to compare means. I'm going to dependent sample t-test. I'm taking my test variable as training environment, and I'm taking my gender as the grouping variable. There it will ask me a question mark. What I'm supposed to give? You click on define group. You click on define group, and group 1 will be called as 1, and group 2 will be called as 2. Group 1, 1, and group 2, 2. Now click continue. Now I have set my variables. My dependent variable is set and my independent variable is set. Why 1 and 2? Gender is coded as 1 and 2. That's why. So make it as like this, and then you can click in options. You go to options. Okay, it is not required. Everything is fixed. Option is not required. Everything is fixed. So I'll repeat the process. Go to analyze. Click on the dependent variable. Bring it to this location. And what is your independent variable you want to test? That is gender, which has two categories. Bring it to grouping variable. There you define the group as 1 and 2. And then click OK. Now you will get the result like this, right? So after getting, this is the result. Now, as I said, there are so much of numbers. I'm taking it to my Excel sheet. There are so much of numbers which I'm getting confused. So what I'll do, I'll just paste it in my Excel. Now, what I'm supposed to see, I was saying about your magical number, right? There was a magical number which is 0.05. If you recollect, I was mentioning about a magical number which is 0.05. Okay, this is my area which I refer. I don't want to remember the statistics value. I recollect 0.05, which is the significant value. Look into the output. There is one area which is significant, right? F test, and under limits test, there is one thing as F and significant. You look into the significant value. Hello? Yeah?
Can I show the output?
Sir, can I proceed? Yeah. Okay. You look into it. Here there will be a significant value. What is the significant value? It's more than 0.05 or less than 0.05?
Greater than 0.05.
So what will be the conclusion? If it is more than 0.05, what is the
null hypothesis would be accepted.
Accept the null.
Accept the null hypothesis. What is the null hypothesis? There is no difference of opinion. It means what is the interpretation I'll get? This score, what the overall score I got, it doesn't have any difference of opinion among the male and female. It means both male and female are giving the similar opinion. Suppose, in case, This F value will differ. It will be like 5.67. This is an example, 5.678, something like that. And the significant value is 0.02. Now, what is the interpretation, sir? Madam, what is the interpretation? Everyone can try.
This means that the based on gender, it varies significantly. So
exactly.
The feedback of training is different based on gender.
Okay, now for the training, okay.
Alternative hypothesis.
Excellent. You all are on track. So it is less than 0.05. I accept the alternative hypothesis and state that. Oh my God. And state that there is a difference of opinion. Now, who has given the difference of opinion, whether male or female? There is a difference of opinion between male and female, but who has given the difference, whether it is male or female? For that, you refer this particular table where it is mentioning about mean and standard deviation. Now, suppose this value is 2.35. Just I'm making an assumption because already it was not significant. I'm changing the value for your understanding. This is significant. So we say we accept the alternative hypothesis. There is a difference of opinion between male and female. Now, whose mean score is less?
Female.
So now this shows that the female respondents are feeling the training environment is not comfortable. Even for this session, it is applicable. Reason is we are kept in a time of 8 to 10 and many people are working people and you are supposed to make your domestic work also in preparation of food. And by now your kids, if there are any kids, definitely they are supposed to take care of them and then ensure that their classes are going on. So you have a lot of work. If the maid is not there, then probably they will be having issues with duration. You go to the questionnaire, they might be having issues with the time. They may be having issues with the duration. They may be having issues with the break, something like that, right? So now this is what the interpretation using an independent sample t-test. Am I clear with this? If it is okay, we'll proceed further.
Yes. Yeah, perfect.
Perfect, right. That's great, sir. Then,
sir, I have got one basic question, sir.
Yes, sir, please.
I got slightly confused when you said scores. Now, these training variables that we got from the TE construct, now they were independent variables, right? How did you make it as a dependent variable? That's
sir,
where I got
training environment is the scale variable. That's what is the logic when you are trying to find out any kind of difference of opinion, right? Independent sample t-test need two basic tests. One is independent and dependent. See, dependent is like I want to find out training environment is one of the variable. I want to find out whether it is having difference of opinion between male and female. So male and female is obviously the respondent who is giving. Now you are giving a response, right? You are independent. You are giving the response for what? You have given the response for training environment.
Correct.
So training environment becomes a different variable now. Right?
Okay.
So we have another 10 minutes time. We have another 10 minutes time. Kindly bear with me. We'll try to step a little bit. So next I want to do a ANOVA table. So what is this ANOVA? This also will try to tell us like, okay, whether there is
analysis of variance.
Yeah, analysis of variance. So how we'll do the test? The concept is exactly same. Only difference is if I have 2 category, I'll go for independent sample t-test. If I have 3 category, I'll go for one-way ANOVA. Now, how I'll do this? So please bear with me. We are supposed to finish one more tool also because 9:30 we have a meeting. So analyze, same, compare means, go to one-way ANOVA. Instead of independent sample t-test, I go to one-way ANOVA. I'm clicking there, one-way ANOVA. Here, again, I'm taking the training environment, right? Training environment. Or for a change, I'll take the content of the, okay, I'll take one variable as after training. Let me take after training as an example. Instead of using training environment itself, I'm taking an option as after training. Now, I want to find out based on proficiency. So this question was raised by Zubair sir yesterday. Some people will be proficient, technology related, right? So we have an item in our questionnaire like, what about the proficiency in using computer? Poor, mediocre, and expert level. So I'm taking this variable. This is how many category? 3 category. So this if it has 3 category, then it will be ANOVA. So I'm trying to use this. I have a different variable instead of training environment. I'm taking after training just to understand the learning. And there is one thing as options. You click on options, and click on descriptors. I'll repeat the process once again. Analyze, compare means, one-way ANOVA. My dependent variable will be after training. Instead of training environment, I'm taking some other variable to show some different example. and the proficiency is one of my independent variable. I'm going to options, just click descriptors and click continue. That's all. And I'm clicking OK. Now, this is my ANOVA result. Again, I don't know much about statistics. So I have two outputs. I know only one magical number, which is 0.05. I'll go to that magical number and check. I'll try to figure out the magical number. Now I need your interpretation. What is the interpretation now for this table? Can someone interpret what is the first thing that we are supposed to see?
Yeah, the significance level is 0.007.
Significant level is what we are seeing.
Yes.
Less than 0.5.
So what
less than 0.05.
Less than 0.05, 0.05 or 0.07, right? 0.07. It's more than or less than?
Does not hold, sir. What I meant.
It is 0.007. But
yes,
we are looking for
it's less than.
Less than 0.05.
So
that means
so what we'll do?
Alternate hypothesis.
Alternate hypothesis gets accepted.
What is the alternative hypothesis?
There is difference.
There is a difference.
There is a difference. Now, who has got the difference? Okay, right. I'm just making some alteration in this. Now, who got difference?
People who are bad with the computer proficiency.
You try to check with the mean score. First of all, we'll check with the significance value and we'll check with the mean score. Now, who has got difference?
Poor computer skill.
2.1. 2.1, right? So, people who doesn't have much technological savvy, or who doesn't have much of proficiency in using computers, they are saying they are given a poor rating after the training program. They are saying like, no, I have not understood much, because they are using the software, and based on that they say like, no, I don't have proficiency, because of which I'm not able to do much. Now, what is the output for a researcher? Here, as a training person, assume yourself as the trainer, or assume yourself as a part of the university, and you have conducted the training program. Now, what will be your solution for this? What will be your suggestion? Now, this is the finding. Significant value is less than 0.05. There is an alternative hypothesis. It means there is a difference of opinion. People who are all with poor proficiency, they are saying that I have not understood much. They said they are disagreeing that they have learned. Now, what will be the suggestion you will give?
Suggestion will be, it should be there as a prerequisite. You know, a certain proficiency level should be the prerequisite for attending this training course.
Okay, in the training program, we cannot expect everyone to be in that way. But as a trainer, what I can do further in my next training programs?
To make to make this technology part much more user friendly.
Right. To make this technology part much more user friendly.
Starting from the basic, so that the people who are not aware of it.
We had a basic course. We had a basic module.
Okay,
we can have a pre-read or a homework kind of a module before attending this training program. So
excellent,
that we.
Excellent. Then what else, ma'am? Then what else? See, if it is such a session, then I can say like, okay, I can have a separate session for people who are all not much proficient, to introduce them to the
right.
Now, you have crossed 3 different levels. One, you made a test, you made a hypothesis and tested the hypothesis. You made the interpretation. You are saying about the findings also, and you suggested what to be done. Now it is what covering about the complete study. You have covered all these things, right? So this is the continuity of ANOVA, t-test and ANOVA. So quickly we'll go to correlation and regression. So kindly bear with me. Somewhere I'm getting disturbance, please.
Sir, honestly, today with practical examples, it's making much better sense. Yesterday we did only the statistical analysis part.
It will be there, man. That's what I said. Don't worry about the statistics. Be concentrating on the logic. That's what I'm saying from the start of the session from yesterday. Don't worry about the statistics. Be with the logic. That's it. Right. Now, let me go with correlation. So what is correlation? It is trying to find out the relationship between two variables, right? We are not saying independent or dependent. Let me show a small example. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Now this is my model. If you recollect, this is what we are trying to do, right? So we want to find out whether what is the relationship between training environment on outcome, or what is the influence of training environment on outcome, training content on the outcome, and trainer delivery on the outcome. This is what we are trying to measure, right? So before that, we want to find out whether these items are correlated among themselves. whether it is highly correlated. If it is highly correlated, what it represents? What is correlation? There is a relationship between one and the other one. Simple example, advertisement increase in sale, increase in exercise, decrease in stress, right? So there are two possible ways. One, you have a relationship which is positive or negative, and what is the strength of the relationship? If you make yoga every day, right? Yoga, it will decrease your stress. How much it will decrease? 60%. If you say like that, that is what your correlation. And here the diagrammatic represent is representing a regression, but we'll try to find out what is a correlation. See, correlation test, how you will do, I want to find out whether there is a relationship between my after training and content delivery. Simple logic. I'm trying to give as many contents as possible for the past 1 hour and as well as in the previous session. Whether there is a relationship between content delivery and outcome after the training program or not. Do you agree with me? This is the logic. So how I do the correlation? Go to analyze, go to correlate. I'm just repeating the step. Analyze, correlate, bivariate. Analyze, correlate, bivariate. I just want to go with the after training variable and then content delivery by the trainer. I'm just using two variables, that's all. Then I'm clicking OK. This is a simple logic. I'm trying to make some delivery by now on the SPSS software. I want to find out whether you have learned certain basics of SPSS or not. That's it. So I'm just trying to put both the variables and I'm clicking OK. Now what has happened? This is my output, what I got from correlation. I copy and paste it in my Excel for my comfort. Then I'm just pasting it here. I want to find out the relationship. So what is the relationship? So here, after training is here, after training, or let me make the content delivery here, and then after training is here. So what is the magical number? Here also I don't want to go with statistics.
0.05.
0.05 is my magical number. Now what are all the two variables I'm looking forward? Whether the content delivery by the trainer, that is Rajkumar has delivered some content relating to SPSS, whether you got the outcome it or not. I want to find out. First of all, I look into significance. Now what is the significant value?
0 here.
0 means it is like it is significant. That means whether we say there is a relationship or there is no relationship.
No relationship.
No relationship.
Sure. But are we going with alternate hypothesis or null hypothesis?
Going with alternative
hypothesis.
What is the alternative hypothesis?
There is no relationship.
Oh yeah, there is relationship.
So there is a relationship.
There is no relationship. Alternative will be there is a relationship. Now what is happening? There is a relationship, right? So first theme is proved. There is a relationship. What is the relationship? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive.
There is no negative sign. It means there is a positive relationship. How much is the relationship?
And 5/8.
And 5/8. It means 58%. Yes, it is getting related. So this is what your correlation. Correlation will tell you whether there is a relationship between two variables or not. It will not say whether it is an independent variable or whether it is a dependent variable. Dependent from regression. Now this is the core and final one. Last 5 minutes will see. Now if you look into it, I have a training environment. Look into the questionnaire once again. I have a training environment. So what for we are conducting the training program? There should be an outcome at the end of the training. The complete research work, coursework is made to find out like whether you are able to make some, understand the terminology, create a research proposal, and whether you can prepare a questionnaire, whether you can make appropriate statistical tool, basic learning, right? Based on what? Whether my training environment supported a larger extent, or the content of this program has supported a larger extent, or whether the presenter delivery will have a higher influence. Now, I'm creating a null hypothesis. There is no influence on the training environment, training content, and training delivery on the outcome variable. This is what the model I'm supposed to check. Let me take a simple model. I'm trying to find out like, hope you understand, hope you agree with this logic with me. Content delivery. I'm making some delivery by now. I'm just trying to teach you and make you expert a little bit understanding on this SPSS software. Whether the content delivery by the trainer, will it have an influence on the overall learning? of the software. So logic? Yes, you are there with me? Everyone are with me?
Yeah.
Sir.
I'm making some content now. I'm trying to help you out in learning the software, whether it has influenced the learning or not. I want to test this particular hypothesis. So what is my null hypothesis? What will be my null hypothesis? Please help me out by saying the null hypothesis.
Content delivery has no impact.
There is
no impact on learning.
No impact on learning.
There is no impact of content delivery
on the learning.
Trainer on outcome on learning. Yes, will be the same simple language on learning of the participants of the training program. Right? This is my null hypothesis.
Yes.
What is my alternative hypothesis?
There is an impact.
There is a significant impact of the content delivery.
There is a significant impact. You added one word, so I'll just grab that word significant. Right? I'm using here also. There is no significant impact. So these are all my hypotheses. Are you all there in the same page?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Fine. So now this is null hypothesis and this is alternative hypothesis. Now what I'll do is like, what is the magical number?
0.05.
0.05. I believe all others are there with me, or there is some like this.
Yes,
Everyone are there with me, sir?
No.
Yeah. So please acknowledge the right time.
Yes, sir. We are there.
Thank you. Or else I'm feeling like I'm lost in between. Okay. So this is my magical number.
Yeah.
Right. Now this 0.05 is my magical number based on which I'll accept null or alternative. Now I have to test this.
Sir,
So how I
please
test
repeat.
this?
Sir, please repeat.
Ma'am, there is a null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. My magical number is 0.05. Now I'm going to do the test in SPSS. How I'll do? Go to analyze. There is a name directly as regression as like a relation. Go to regression. Click on linear.
So
Regression
your
means
screen.
click on linear. You can't see my screen, sir. Just a minute.
Now we can see.
Now we can see.
Just a minute. I'll reshare. Okay. Just I'll take 3 minutes time. So with that we'll wind up. So what I'm doing is like I'm going to analyze. Go to regression, and option is there as linear. So go to linear. And what is my outcome variable? That is after training, right? I have named it as after training, but that is my learning variable, outcome variable. And what is my independent variable? Content delivery by the trainer. I'm clicking OK. I'm clicking OK. Now these are all my results. I'm just copying all the results to my Excel sheet for easy access. Looking everything to my easy access. I'm clicking it here. Now, so much output. That is my first interpretation. What is supposed to do?
Sir, could you just repeat the previous process? I got lost there.
Simple.
The SPSS process.
Just a minute, sir. Just a minute. There is an analyze option. Go to regression.
Yeah.
Yes. Analyze, regression, linear. Just put your dependent variable, which is the outcome variable, which is called as after training, and the independent variable is the content delivery by the trainer. I have not touched any of the option. I just clicked OK. That's it. Okay. Now this is the output what we got. In this output, what am I supposed to refer first?
Significance.
Great. Significance is the first thing. As a layman, I don't know anything about the numbers, whatever has been mentioned. I just go to the significance. Now, what is the significance? Less than 0.05 or more than 0.05?
More than 0.05.
0.000. It is less than 0.05.
Less than 0.05. Sorry, less than 0.05.
Less than 0.05. So what I'll do? Null or alternative?
Alternative
hypothesis I'll take. So what is my alternative hypothesis?
There is a significant impact.
There is an impact of content delivery by the trainer on the learning of the participant. Do you agree with this statement logically?
Yes.
Yes.
If the trainer is really good and if you're able to give a perfect delivery, then yes, it will have an impact on the learning. Right. Now, this logic I know, but I want to check it up statistically, right? So I have seen this particular significant value and I'm going to the next table. There is one more. This is ANOVA table. Based on this, I have confirmed my hypothesis. After this, I want to make, just a minute. After this, I'll find out like what is the level or what is the percentage to which it is significant. Now again, there is some significant value.
Yes,
right?
65%.
Delivery. What is the value? It means yes, there is an impact. So this also I'll note down. And how much it is having an impact? You look into this beta value.
65%.
Unstandardized and standardized. If you want to say it in percentage, you say it based on standardized. If you want to say it in unit, you say it in unstandardized value. So it means my content delivery by the trainer as a variable has an impact of 0.65, right? It means like it is 0.65. If I increase the content, if I increase the quality by 0.1 unit, it means like I'm putting 1 unit extra effort, it will have an impact of 0.650 unit increase in the learning of the participant. How much percentage I'm saying this model is valid, for which you look into adjusted R square. These are all simple things which are I said. You look into adjusted R square value. This will give you the complete percentage. I'm saying that if the delivery of the content is good by the trainer, then there will be an impact on the learning where 34% whatever I'm saying is right. I'm authenticating using the adjusted R square value that 34% whatever I say is right. Okay. So now this is about regression. Don't worry if there is any doubts. Let us clear after this particular meeting. We'll take another 5 minutes after the meeting with request of the next faculty, and we can clarify the doubt. Right. So time being, I'm just winding up as of now here, and we will proceed with the meeting. I believe VC sir will be coming, and the registrar sir will also be there now. So we'll discuss on that after this meeting, 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Pumna ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, sir. I'll ask VC to join me.
Yeah.